everybody ready to get started?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks. Thanks everybody for being here. We're here to talk about the mass shooting that happened last night. Before I make my remarks, I want to recognize some people who are here. We have Karen Poor, the safety director, Ignacio Messina, the communications director, and Chief Brian Bird from the Toledo Fire and Rescue Division. This literally happened less than 13 hours ago. And when we have this amount of victims, you can only imagine how complicated this crime scene is. I'm not going to be able to give you a whole lot of information right now. We still have interviews, we still have forensic tests that need to be taken care of, but between myself and Lieutenant Gerken, whatever we can answer, we'll try to get done. I'm going to give you a brief timeline of what happened, and then we'll we'll move into questions. About 10:17 p.m. last night, we received a call about several hundred people who were having a block party at Lawrence in Detroit. It was dispatched as a general broadcast, which means it's just broadcasted out to the units. Obviously, 4th of July is probably our busiest day of the year, and our crews were tied up with other things, and that's why it was general broadcast. At 12:24 a.m., dispatch received a call of a black male shooting in the air and 300 people fighting in the street. About 16 seconds later, our first crew arrived while gunshots were still being fired. They called out multiple shooters and requested assistance from all available police units. At the same time, the crew called out multiple people had been shot. Literally seconds later, TFRD showed up and jumped into action to save as many lives as we could. At 12:33 a.m., our units began shutting down large portions of Detroit Avenue and the surrounding area. At 12:36 a.m., we required mutual aid from the Lucas County Sheriff's Office and the Ohio State Highway Patrol for crowd control and scene management. At 12:42 a.m., crews were sent to Toledo Hospital and St. Vincent's Mercy Hospital for reports of multiple gunshot victims and crowd control. In all, there's approximately 80 rounds that were fired last night out of multiple firearms. For the victims, there was a total of 12 people shot. One came into the hospital this morning. 9 are in stable condition. Their ages are there were 3 19-year-olds, an 18-year-old, 2 17-year-olds, 2 16-year-olds, a 15-year-old, and an 11-year-old. They're all in stable condition. There are 2 in critical condition. One is a 51-year-old male, and another one is a 19-year-old. I'm not sure if it's a male or female. And sadly, 1 person lost their lives. So we had 1 fatality. We had approximately 70 TPD officers on scene last night, 7 Lucas County Sheriff Office deputies, and 7 Ohio State Highway Patrol troopers. Before I take questions, I would be remiss if I didn't give some thank yous. Obviously to the 70 TPD officers who are out there in the middle of a gunfight. Our partners at the Sheriff's Office, the Ohio State Highway Patrol, and I got to say something about the fire department. Normally in something like this, they stage until the scene was safe. Not this time. They jumped into action right away. We try to keep them in what we call the warm zone, but they were in the hot zone, so I want to say thank you to them. Obviously, our dispatchers from Toledo, the Sheriff's Office, and the fire department, and the medical staff at Toledo Hospital and St. Vincent's Mercy for their incredible medical care. That's it in a nutshell, what I have right now. If there's any questions.
Can you give information about the 1 person who died, male, female, age?
Yes. 17-year-old male. He was life flighted to U of M last night.
Did any TPD officers fire any rounds or respond to gunfire on scene?
Well, they were there, they heard it, but no Toledo police officer fired their weapons last night.
Is there any indication of what started this gunfight?
Not at this stage of the game, and to be perfectly honest, we're not getting a whole lot of cooperation from the folks that were out there that day. Unfortunately, when we have 12 people shot and we're not getting a whole lot of cooperation is frustrating for our investigators.
So no suspects, I'm guessing?
Not at this
right?
time.
We interviewed people at the scene and they alleged that a lot of the shots were coming from police officers. Do you have a comment on that?
That's ridiculous. That's my comment on that.
Anybody got anything else?
I mean, block parties happen,
Mhm.
right? They've happened in the past. Any way that, how will you guys, are you gonna be responding to them differently going forward? You know, when you see so many people, hundreds, as you said, gathering, how are you guys gonna respond?
Well, in this case, it was a 4th of July, and for the better part of over an hour, close to 2 hours, there was no reason for the police to really respond there and break up a party. It's a 4th of July. We're expected to be out with our family and friends. The only time we needed to jump in action, obviously, is when it went south. We're going to be looking at, like we do every weekend, where there are block parties permitted, and we try to keep an eye on them. It's our goal that people, if you want to have fun with your friends and relatives, knock yourselves out, but leave your guns at home.
Does TPD have any idea of what started the altercation, or was it just a random occurrence?
Not yet, not yet.
So, was there people from all age ranges there, or was it primarily young people? Because a lot of people who were injured were pretty young
Well, you
teenagers.
see, the youngest is 11, the oldest was 51, so I think it ran the gamut of all ages.
This was a legal block party, you got all the permits and the signs and the road closures?
I don't believe so, but we're going to follow up on that tomorrow.
If someone has some information, how can they give that to you?
They can call Crime Stopper at 255-1111. They can call the Detective Bureau. We'll send someone out right away. We have 12 Toledoans who were shot last night. Excuse my language. We should be angry. I'll stop there. We should be angry. We need to come together as a community. We've seen this type of violence in this country all year long, and now it's hit home. We need to come together as a community and come forward. Someone there knows who was shooting these guns. We'll keep you safe. We'll make sure we get the information, but we need to do this together.
All right, that's going to be it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chief Burke, I'll talk to you about the fireworks issue, the fireworks incident in Toledo. Sophia, can you grab my mic real quick?